Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Soul Journey with Sudi Burnett. Today we'll be talking about New Year's resolutions, setting goals, and how to keep those goals throughout the whole year. Hi Sudi, have you set any New Year's resolutions this year, and how do you predict 2018 to be?
Hi, Vanessa June. Have I ever? Oh my God, 2018. I'm very excited. And yes, energetically, I'm feeling that 2018 is going to be amazing. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a storm. So many ups and downs, and so many events are happening. If you follow astrology, numerology, you would see that 2018, according to numerology, would be 11. And I always love 11 numbers because, as we see, 1-1, we say it is portal to ascension. So whenever we see 1-1 and when they rhyme up like 11-11, 1-11, we say be mindful of what you're thinking, because whatever you think will manifest very quickly. So 11 years is a year of intuition, and we all going to be very intuitive, and we can feel what's going on. So I'm very happy, very exciting. It's going to be a very challenging, it's going to be a karmic year, but the way I translated Vanessa, I felt like 2016 and 2017 were karmic, but in a dark way. But 2018 is karmic in a good way. It's like suddenly we're leaving the heavy lessons, and we learn what we have to learn, and we're ready to move on. So that's how I feel. How do you feel about 2018, Vanessa?
I'm excited about 2018. I've had a slow start, but I'm excited for my goals to be achieved. And I want to know, did you set any goals this year? What are your resolutions?
It's really funny. I felt I started very slow, and maybe some of your audience or people who are watching us are going to relate. It was such a weird feeling. Like, I felt like I totally want to close down the last year chapter. I no longer, I even started going through a period of like totally like stop, like things weren't moving. And I wrote about 7 pages a couple of days ago to myself that I don't want to repeat what I did last year, and my soul was sitting up here. I had a really actually funny conversation with my soul that I was like, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to change this, and my soul were just like, we're going to do total transformation or I'm not moving. So after struggling a little bit through this conversation, I realized that no, this year is not even about making little changes. And you know, Vanessa, when I was going through this feeling, I was just thinking like, if I'm gonna change what didn't work in the past year, it's just draining out so much energy. Why don't I just close that chapter totally and then start brand new? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you agree? Like,
I understand, and I've noticed that a lot of people have a Xerox copy of the years before them, their New Year's resolution that didn't get fulfilled before, and they set the same goals and get disappointed. I've done that myself, and that actually brings me to my next question to you is that, first of all, how do you start setting these New Year's resolutions? How do you set these goals? Where do you begin? And how do you make sure that you keep them throughout the year and you don't disappoint yourself? And even if you, well, my next question would be, even if you do fall off the wagon and don't reach those goals midway, how do you get back up and start again?
yeah, because today we have so much information out there. Like if you only go on YouTube and just Google how to set goals, you see hundreds of videos will come that they will tell you how to set your goals. And I don't think people need to hear me telling them that, or you probably know and you already heard it, that the first step is to write down your goals, right? I think most of us have read the famous book, Think and Grow Rich. And they say, if you don't write your goal, it's only a dream. So the very first step has to be for you and I to sit down and write down those goals. The next step would be to give each goal dates, right? So you and I are going to have short-term goals, like we're going to start exercising from tomorrow and we're going to eat healthy from tomorrow, and we give ourselves like 3 months, I'm going to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds or blah, blah. And we have long-term goals, like maybe 3 years, 5 years, 7 years goal. So the first step, you and I are going to write down our goals. But are we clear about what those goals are? Like I'm asking you this question now, Vanessa. Do you really know what your goals are?
I do, but they're not specifically detailed yet. Mm-hmm. To monthly or daily yet.
Okay, so I think that's because as you know, I work as a life coach and I work with many people, and that's the main part that we have problem with. We're not really clear and we're not setting specific goals, and we don't give them date and time. So basically, I'm going to start by me to open up, and then we will start working on your goals. Generally, my main goal for this year is to start up having my own TV station, right? But I don't just want to have a TV station, and I don't want to just go on YouTube, because I am already on YouTube. But I want to have a TV station that is like covering a lot of stuff. Like, as human being, what are our main issues? And my goal is to help at least 100,000 people till next year to really achieve what they want, to be happier, to be healthier, to really reach their goals. So that's not a small goal, right? So, but that's my top list. Now I have to break that down. If I want to help out like 100,000 people, that's a big number. How would I have a TV station? What do I have to do? What are the process to get at least like 100,000 people to come and watch my show? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have to first I have to be really clear about the goal. Then I'm going to break it down. What's the first step? I have to use the social media. How much do I use the social media? I have to use the marketing. I have to get the people. I have to pull people in to come and watch my TV station. And what am I going to give out? Like, we have so many choices these days. If people come in and they just see me and I'm like lapping on my TV show, they're just going to tune out, right? So I have to get all these things right, and I have to have a huge marketing working to bring all these people in. And what can I give out to be for people to come in? Would I give them a free DVD? Would I give them a diet program? Would I give them a meditation CD? Something that I can pull, some marketing tools that I can pull these people in, right? So I have to really clearly write this down. And who and what are the people that I need? Do I need marketing group? Do I need the best on social media? What am I going to give out? So I have to be really clear, and then I have to set dates, right? When do I need until, so I'm going to, that's my first goal. 1 year, 100,000 viewer. Now I'm going to break this down into daily, like my goal would be that I get 5 people to watch my show, and then in a week, 5 times 7 is 35 people. Is that enough? Is 35 people per week gonna add up to 100,000 in 12 months? So I have to make all that calculation. The most important thing, Vanessa John, is why am I doing this? And at the end of it, if I reach 100,000 people, what is that going to give me? Is it going to make me happier? Is it going to bring money in? What am I going to get? What am I going to gain from it? So basically, last week I was reading another book that I don't even remember the title, but it was a best-selling, and they were talking about if you want to reach your goals, the scientists had figured out that 40 to 50% would be related to your daily habits. So if you and I have bad habits of starting projects, or maybe too many of them and not finishing them up, and that is because of, like, my daily habit is that I can't get up before 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and I don't do things, all my tasks on time. So these are all daily habits that's stopping me from achieving my goals. So basically, that's the first part. I'm going to stop here to see if you want to ask or if you want to add up anything to it before we move on.
Well, actually, your goal is similar to mine. As you know, I'm a makeup artist, and one of my goals was to actually start videotaping my work and making either YouTube channel or social media videos to gain more followers and viewers, and in result having more clients, more exposure, getting my name out there, so I can relate to what you're explaining. And I haven't set those detailed goals yet on how many viewers I'm gonna get by the end of the year, or how I'm gonna go about it. But hopefully we'll be working on that together.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. So let's start by the main goal. First, let's break it down, because right now, as you put it in, is just like a whole bunch of things together, but there's not enough clarity. Yeah. So what's the main goal?
The main goal is to gain an audience.
Okay, hold on.
And work.
Hold on. So to gain audience, what's the number? What scale are you working on?
I mean, I'm not sure how many is too much and how many is too little yet.
Okay, hold on. So what determines too many or too little?
I'm not sure. I don't want to set a goal that's too high.
According to whom?
According to realistic numbers of.
But what or who gives you that realistic number? What part? Are we talking about brain? Are we talking about conscious? Are we talking about subconscious? Are we looking back at what have we achieved so far?
Well, mostly I'm talking about like statistics of just numbers of how long it takes for someone to build followers, or.
And what is that number?
I haven't done the research yet. I don't know. But I know that, I mean, 1 million would be too many in 1 year.
How do you know that?
Because Well, maybe I don't know. I just
You just guessing, right?
It's a lot. I've heard, for example, there's one person I follow on social media, and he said it took him about 2 years to get 1 million. And I don't know. I think maybe with one video that's really interesting, I could get 1 million. I don't know. Who knows?
So I don't want you to move away too quickly from here. Let's just stay here for a while. I think my first question for you would be, why do you even look out there to see what other people are doing? Because if you look out there, there are going to be so many different numbers, right?
Right.
One guy, he said it took me 2 years to make 1 million, break 1 million. Somebody else will say, oh, one a day. So why are you out there in the first place?
You're right. It could be I have to focus within and focus on what I'm doing. I just want to, maybe I compare, that's my issue.
So the first thing we work on, like when I said that 100,000, I didn't go out there to see what anybody else is doing, because that's none of my business. I don't know, some people are too slow, some people are too fast. Some people, they consider themselves being lucky. Some people would say like, oh yeah, I have so many friends who helped me out, and my parents saw him. Let's just forget about all of that.
So how did you come up with that number, 100,000?
I just came up with it myself.
Out of nowhere, you're just like 100?
Yeah, it just came to me. So to answer your question, how did I come up with 100,000? It's just like that voice that I hear. If I go to a psychiatrist, they say she's a nutcase. Somebody is talking to her, right? It's my inner voice. It's when I'm quiet enough, when I shut down everything else. For people who don't, you know me, for those of you who might not know me, I have a television that was on storage, recently has been here, but I haven't watched television for the last 10 years. There is no other voices here. There's no radio going on. I live alone. So basically there is not a lot of outside noises, right? So that helps me to be quiet enough and be okay enough with myself and that silence. You see, Vanessa, so many of us are so afraid of that silence. Do you know that?
Yes.
Like, to a lot of us, it's so scary for everything to be quiet. We try to do anything to run away from that stillness and from that silence. And I have done that so many years. I worked so hard, and I was running around just to avoid that void or that silence. So now I have learned to embrace that. So when you and I just get to that space of silence and the higher voice is speaking to us, we get our answers. I don't have to get a life coach or go to a psychic or someone that I think, to be honest with you, today I don't trust anyone who can advise me better than myself or my higher self. So that's where I get my 100,000 and other answers or numbers.
Okay, I get that. And I understand, and I've been there where the silence gives you those answers. And when I have a lot of things going on in my head and I'm not silent, I lose that voice. So I totally can relate. And it's a great feeling to have that, especially through meditation. It just comes to you from within. So what I want to know is, so you set the 100,000 goal. What's your next step? I mean, how are you going to achieve that? What do you need to do every single day to make sure that 100,000 is met?
I think first step would be the goal that we want to achieve. Please listen me, try to hear me out. The most important thing to me is when we want to achieve a goal, and that goal is huge, the most important thing to me is to ask myself to see who that character is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So probably the goal that I have, like owning my own TV station, and the first year I have 100,000 viewers, and I dream big. I cannot dream small. Otherwise, if I dream small and have little tiny small goals, it doesn't motivate me enough, and it doesn't give me enough juice to move forward. So I have to dream big, and my goals has to be big. This is for everybody. I'm not just talking about me. But when I want to achieve that huge goal, the first thing I would ask myself, who is that character who achieved that? Who is this person? How does she think? How does this character feels? How does this character act? Because I have been an actress, and I think, if I remember well, I am still an actress. That's just like breakdown of a character. When I get a role, I sit in my silence and I vision this character. Who is this character? How does this character think? Is this character someone who's abusive? Is this character someone who runs a lot of self-sabotaging program? Is this character plays a victim role? Is this character a hero? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Are you talking about the law of attraction and playing that role to attract what you want?
In a way, yes, we could say it's a part of law of attraction. So first I have to get the breakdown of this character. I got to see how this successful, huge manifester, builder think, right? Because it's all start from what we think. And then after I start finding out that who is this character? Is this character a victim, or is this character a hero? These are two opposite sides, right?
Yes.
So once I realized who this character is, I got the breakdown as this character, then I go to the next step, which is the emotional body. Because we know at the emotional body, that's where the whole energy gets created. That's where the juice comes from. That's where the self-motivation starts, right? So once I start to feel that, then it's going to affect my physical body. Is this character someone who is slow motion, speaks slowly, walk slowly, or is this a character fast speed, savvy, moving very quickly? So I have to see and understand this character. Once I establish who this character is, then I'm going to have to leave my old character. I played 99 Cents Family. I played a grandmother in that part, right?
Yes.
So when they gave me this role, I couldn't believe it. Like when I went for an audition and I read for the part and they said, you got the part, I was like, are you sure? Oh, sometimes I'm just so stupid. No self-esteem. I was like, are you sure you're casting me right for this part? And they were like, yes. The director and the producer saw something in me that I didn't see it in myself at that time. So once I booked the part, then I came to myself, I started walking and I started thinking, a grandmother, who can I get pieces of how because I didn't have a grandmother, I lost my parents years ago. I was just hanging out with all younger people, so I didn't even have an older neighbor or somebody that I can build my character upon. So then I started to ask my higher self, how would I get this character? And of course, I don't know, Vanessa, has it ever happened to you, like you ask a question the night before and you start thinking about it, and then you go to sleep and the next morning your subconscious or your higher self or whatever you want to ask her, it just come up, it just gives you the answer?
Yes.
So the next day was like, call one of those elderly center and tell them that you're going to go there and teach these people how to exercise. So I called in the first place on Fairfax and I'm like, hey, yes, I'm a personal trainer and I wanted to come there and maybe 2 or 3 times per week, and I want to teach these people how to exercise. And of course, and you don't even have to pay me. And they were like, who is this crazy person? Anyways, so I started going there and I started looking as I was teaching them. And they are so cute. I was seeing how are these characters talking, how are they moving, right? So I picked up the way these people, the elderly people talk, the way they move, and all this. So I got my character from there, right? So you and I, now you want to become, I'm coming to work on your goal. You want to be, do you want to be a makeup artist who's going to see, maybe if she's lucky, 5 clients per week, and she has 50 people following her on her Instagram, or you're going to have like 50 people clicking on your video, or you want to go to 1,000, or you want to go to 50,000, or you want to go to 100,000. Let's work on that number. Once we get that number, which I'm going to start judging you on your self-worth, then we go from there.
I mean, I'm good with 100,000, maybe even more.